Hello everyone, welcome back to Primo ICT Lectures channel. My name is Oscar, I'm an ICT facilitator. In this video, we are going to discuss about databases. We will see definition of key terms used in databases, database management system, traditional file processing system, and the areas in which databases should be used. Let's jump right in. What is a database? A database contains, or just a database is like a set of related tables that store data or information. So a table, each table has rows and columns, and intersection of rows and columns form what we call the cells. So data of a database are stored into table cells. So a database is an organized collection of related data. What is data? In computer science, or just the digital computers process data into information. So data means everything that you can enter into a computer for processing, like letters or just text, numbers, symbols, and so on. So in a few words, data have no meaning or little meaning to the user. What about information? Information refers to processed data. Information is like output after processing. Processing here means the transformation of input data into information. So information has meaning to the user, or information is meaningful, or just a result after processing data. Now let's talk about the database approach, including TFP and the Dbms. TFP means traditional file processing system, which is a computer-based system in which information or data stored by using this system are stored in different locations, or just in different files. We are going to discuss about this right now. So, for example, here is a figure showing how data or information stored using a traditional file processing system look like. For example, we have the files from library, which are stored in their own location, and the files of examinations, student examinations, which are also stored in their own file, and the registration files, which are also stored in their own location. So this picture shows traditional file processing system, because the files, we have different types of files which are stored in different locations. Now let's talk about advantages of traditional file processing system. This method of storing files is simple. So to design it, designing this traditional file processing is simple, and compared to the steps undergone to design a database. And also this traditional file processing system is efficient. So in terms of money that you should spend to create this method of storing data, and also the speed used to store or retrieve data, because we store data and use it for different purposes. So efficiency, we understand low cost as well as the speed to store or retrieve stored data. And also another advantage is customization. So it's very simple, or just it's very easy to customize the files stored by using traditional file processing system than the files stored by using databases, for example. But traditional file processing system has also a number of disadvantages that we are going to discuss about right now. For example, when you keep data or information by using this method, some data should be duplicated. So here is data duplication. Data duplication is the same as data redundancy, or just the way of storing the same data within the same location. In other words, traditional file processing system treats the copies of data differently. That is the reason why there is data duplication. The second disadvantage is the wastage of storage space. We have seen that the files stored by using traditional file processing system are stored within different locations, and also data duplication should occur. So once the copies of same data are treated differently, they will consume the space on storage media. So wastage of storage space means that files stored by using this method will occupy a large space on storage media. The following disadvantage is the loss of data integrity. So what do we understand by data integrity? Data stored into a database must be accurate and consistent. So accurate, what does it mean? Data must be correct, or just data must be collected, data must be true, and also consistent means that data stored within a database is stored in the way to avoid data duplication. So loss of data integrity, we understand the way of storing data, the way of storing same data, or just many copies of data, but which are treated differently. So this is almost like data duplication. The following disadvantage is data dependency. Data dependence. Here I want you to know that a database or just any other method used to keep the file, the purpose of storing data within a database by using a traditional file processing system or another or database management system is to continue storing data and retrieve data for different purposes. So data dependence, we understand the problems that will occur when someone or just a user want to access data. So traditional file processing system or just a database management system must be connected to the application used by the users to access data or information stored by using aforementioned methods. So any change to the structure of data will require also specific changes to the application which is used to access databases. So data independence means that the change within data stored somewhere causes other changes within applications used to access data. And also the following disadvantage is security problems. So file-based approach is not secured. Remember that data or information is stored by using traditional file processing system is the files containing data or information are stored within different locations. For example, one location should be corrupted and causes other locations. Once one location is corrupted, data is not secured, and also to take care of or just to ensure security method on the files which are stored in different locations is difficult. So that is the reason why we say that this method does not protect data stored by traditional file processing system. Security problems. So what is the database management system, abbreviated as DBMS? This is another method used to store data within just a database, but this method is different from the previous one. Within this method, we use some software to store data, access stored data, organize data, maintain data, and delete data from databases. So, for example, we should use Microsoft Access as a DBMS language or software to store data within a single file and ensure security of data compared to traditional file processing system. We can also use Oracle. We can also use Microsoft SQL Server, MySQL, and so on. There is a variety of DBMS language or just DBMS software that we can use to store data and access data without difficulties within a database. By looking at the figure showing database management system, we see that many files, or just we have many users who are accessing many files, but the files are stored within the same location. So in this case, to ensure security of file or information seems easier than ensuring security by using a traditional file processing system. So this is a group of users using application 1 to access data stored by using a database management system, a software, and here is the other group. So we have n groups of users who are accessing the files stored in the same location. So the security of files or information stored within a database using a database management system is highly ensured. We are going to discuss about its advantages right now. So let's see advantages of DBMS compared to advantages or just disadvantages of traditional file processing system. For example, data or information is stored by using DBMS. Data redundancy or data duplication or just data repetition is reduced. It is not completely eliminated, but it is reduced. And also data or information is stored by using DBMS has integrity. So data integration exists here. So which means that data stored by using DBMS is accurate and consistent. Data is not dependent, but it's independent. What does it mean? It means that any change that should occur within data or information stored by using DBMS will not push the programmers to change the codes from the applications used to access data stored by DBMS. So any change within data does not affect the changes within application codes used to access data. And also data inconsistency is reduced. We can say that data stored by using DBMS is consistent. So it's accurate and also consistent, which means that data duplication or just data repetition or just data redundancy is controlled. And when you control data redundancy, it means also data inconsistency also is controlled, because in this way you can't store same data within the same location, or in other words, the copies of same data are treated the same. And also data sharing. We have seen that a database is used to store data or information, and there are some application programs which are connected to a database, helping the user to access and use data stored within a database. By using DBMS, many users from different locations, from different areas, the countrywide or the worldwide, should use the same database at a time, or just should share data and use it and use it in their activities. So by using a DBMS, it's possible for database users to share data or information among them. So data recovery after a clash. So data recovery means that DBMS offers the ways of recovering data after a crash. Remember that data or information are stored on a storage media. It is possible that storage media or memories should fail or just some failure when they are working. But when there is a crash, at a certain time, after fixing the problem, data stored will not get lost, will be recovered. So, and also the following advantage is concurrent transaction control. So, database should store information about different types of information. For example, in banks, the banks use the database to store information about bank customers, and also the bank customers perform different transactions they want. So a transaction means a collection of operations that perform a single action in database. So when we say concurrent transaction control, we understand that a bank has one database which is shared by many bank customers, and the bank customers do not perform the same transactions. So, but this DBMS offers the ability to perform different transactions on a single database at a time. And also data stored into a database by using DBMS software is totally secured. So database administrator should create security measures to protect data stored within it, and it will not be difficult for him because data are stored on the same location. So there are no security problems here. Database administrator create or just develop security measures to protect data against any damage, which is also very easy because data are stored within the same place or location. Now let's discuss about the areas where databases are applied, and also what are the main uses of databases in real life situations. For example, human resources. Human resources should use a database to keep information about employees, such as employee name, ID, salary, date of birth, and so on. So in this area, database is necessary to be used to keep information about employees. And also banks. Banks use the databases to keep information about their customers, such as customer accounts, loans, and so on. Airline also uses databases to keep information about the passengers, specifically reservation under the names of passengers, and so on. And also in universities use databases to store information of their students, like registration number, course or just subject codes, and so on. And also credit card transactions, the way of paying or just the way of paying by using credit cards. So in this area also database plays crucial role to store information about payment transactions, like keeping purchases done by using credit cards or other payment methods. In telecommunication also, databases are used to keep information about call made, generating monthly bills, and so on. In finance also, databases are used to keep information about sales, to keep information about holdings, and so on. And also industries or factories in manufacturing, databases are used also to keep information about inventories, about warehouses, location, about management of everything within industry or factory. So thank you for watching this video. If you find it helpful, don't forget to subscribe, and also it's a good practice and supportive for us to share this video to other to your colleagues, siblings, so that they should get information about databases. So we will continue in the next video talking about databases levels and the users. Don't miss. Thank you very much. See you next time.